Let's talk about eating cats and dogs. This comes up time and again, those that reject all animal agriculture, wanting to elicit an emotional response, knowing that for much of the world, people consider cats and dogs to be pets. I find the ethics of eating meat to be a fascinating topic. Speciesism is an often used argument with the intention of emotionally manipulating people into feeling guilty and questioning eating meat because they aren't willing to eat their own pet. In some parts of the world, they do eat cats and dogs, but I grew up with them as pets, not food. They play a different role in my life as companion animals, and our border collies herd the livestock, and my cats provide rodent control. And unlike the livestock, they sleep in my bed. I will admit that my cultural upbringing makes me uncomfortable at the thought of eating cats and dogs, but my decision to not do so is not a moral one. There's a reason we came to domesticate the animals we did, some as working animals or companions or for protection, and some for milk, meat, and fibers. Farming cats and dogs doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering what you would have to feed them. Besides the outlandish claims that dogs can fare well in a plant-based diet, I think we can at least all agree that they're not out to pasture, subsisting on grass, and do not grow anywhere close to the size of a cow that is upcycling plant matter into nutrient-dense animal source food, all while utilizing land unsuitable for growing other food, and if properly managed, sequestering carbon and supporting biodiversity, and thus improving the land in a way that cats and dogs do not. And the amount of nutrition produced by even a single bovine makes that a much more worthwhile endeavor. People nowadays are often disconnected from where their food comes from, and their experience of animals is mostly as pets. Since they can't imagine ever eating their own pet, they struggle to understand how farmers can love and care for animals and raise them for food. I care deeply about the animals we raise, but knowing their purpose means it's a different relationship than the one I share with my pets, because my intentions allow me to develop a deeper bond with those animals I plan to keep long term. We are not an animal sanctuary, and we can't keep them all. It is an inability to accept the nuanced emotional complexity of life, along with their own projected need for longevity and the humanizing of livestock, that makes it very difficult for some people to accept that raising animals for food can be sad and yet also right and necessary. Rather than turn away from this, I face the joy and sadness of where my food comes from on a daily basis. Similarly, rather than rejecting all animal agriculture due to my own discomfort over the idea of eating cats and dogs, I sit with these feelings and come to the conclusion that it is not morally superior to avoid animal products, and that one's decision to personally not eat certain animals should not influence their decision to still take care of their own health by harnessing the power of animal-sourced foods.